All right, everybody, we are back with a special guest. We have Youssef Zalal, fresh off of his UFC 320 first round finish. That's crazy, bro. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's you know what they say is living off the high right now, so it definitely feels good.
What did because everyone at Factory X, I mean, full disclosure to everyone listening, me and Youssef have been teammates for a really long time. So it's been fun to like see the whole process from the very beginning and seeing where you're at now. But what were you guys kind of focused on in training camp getting ready for a guy that's so dangerous like Josh Emmett?
Obviously, everybody in the world, if they don't know MMA, they know what that guy brings, which is power right hand. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I obviously I try not to put so much like crazy respect on the guys anymore. I feel like that was my mistake against Cater, but this fight was more of like, okay, I know the one thing that I gotta respect, which is his power. I have to. So as soon as I put that in my head, and I was like, okay, what's the easiest way to deny that, like to like not have that as a possibility, which is the ground. You're not gonna try to knock somebody out from the ground unless they're on top. But so I was like, okay, well, that was the goal. And I really focused on that wrestling, and I've been working on my wrestling for the last few months, and that was the plan going into this fight.
What did you have moments where you're sitting at home, like it's nighttime, you're in bed, getting ready, like you're trying to go to sleep and you're just having nightmares about what could possibly happen if he lands that shot?
Bro, it's every day with with this fighting game. I hate it. I it annoys me, and I tell people I'm a very honest person. I really don't care. I open up to the fans and all that, but for me, it doesn't hit me until Thursday. So during the camp, it definitely hits me up, but during fight week is Thursday for me, bro. I don't know what it is about Thursdays. Right before I start cutting weight, my body
Mhm.
feels it, my body knows it, and then I start getting into that conversation of, okay, well, what if he lands this right hand? What if he lands this and this power shot and this and that? So that was kind of like the thing. And on Friday morning, I kind of feel it. And then after that, it's over. But yeah, I definitely had so many thoughts. But I also look at it with the experience. I'm like, well, nobody landed that shot on me. And it's not going to be him. I promise you that. And that was kind of like my motivation through that.
Yeah, sometimes it depends on the opponent, but sometimes those nights are torturous, man. It's like just
Yeah.
I had it real bad
They're
with
not
Span
they're
the
not
first
they're
time.
not they're not the funnest. They're not the funnest in the world. You know what I mean?
No.
So I'm just blessed enough to kind of like experience it and see other people go through it. So for me, I was kind of like looking on that. I'm like, well, you have to land that shot. You know what I mean? And I'd rather fight somebody that has the one thing than multiple things.
For sure. Yeah, they're easier fights, they're more predictable. Let's talk
Exactly.
about let's I mean, I don't want to go too far backwards, but we got to talk about it a little bit. It's a night and day difference from your first UFC stint to your second one. Obviously, the weight class is different. Um, well, I mean, you came up from 35 from a long time ago, so you changed weight classes at some point in time, and then, man, you lost to guys that you're way better than now. Like it's night and day. You're beating so much better opponents now than you were before. What was the huge difference in between that? That the first and second UFC stint.
Man, just to get hit by, hey, you're not fighting anymore at this biggest, the NFL of this sport. And for me, I was like, I had to like really realize like all this talk and all these things that I've done and more my family sacrifice and what did this and that. And obviously the biggest reason why I started this and really started really getting closer to obviously my brother that passed away, and he's my reason, he's my hero, and stuff like that. So I feel like I let a lot of people down, and I let myself down. You know what I mean? I feel like I was too focused on the hype of the cameras, the money, the winning, and okay, you're in the main car, then all these little bits that made no sense. Like you don't need to focus on those things. You know what I mean? And like really found who I am as a person. And I think that's the biggest change that changed from that to this Yusuf now. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people ask me, I was like, what happens if you fight the old Yusuf? I was like, I would kill the old Yusuf. You know what I mean? And like I'll do whatever I want with that kid. You know what I mean? So, and also I was young and dumb. I feel like it's such a young age that I got to experience it, and I got lucky and blessed to get cut at a younger age and still have the opportunity to come back.
Do you feel like? I don't mean this like in an offensive way, but it's just because I know you so well. Do you think it was a big ego check? Because I felt like I remember even having like joking around with you in the gym, like right as your first UFC stint was starting, and I remember you had said a few things that like I could never even bring myself to say, but it was this confidence that I just couldn't understand. But I'd been in the game so long, so I think sometimes my view was a little bit jaded. Like I don't know, you just had this confidence that was a very respectful, bordering disrespectful thing. You know what I mean? Do you get what I'm getting at?
Yeah, I feel like the
Like
the
you didn't
the
believe that you could be beat for the longest
yeah,
time.
I was delusional in a way, but I also was like, I was not honest with myself. That was the biggest part of that whole thing. It was like knowing that, like, hey, nobody's gonna beat me in this, and like, for example, it was like the ground. Also, I was like, man, you're not gonna beat me in the ground. But I was looking at it, I was like, I was not doing a whole lot to like not be beaten in the ground. You know what I mean, and stuff like that. So that's when the experience came in and really helped me a lot through that first run. I'm like, well, if somebody takes you down, you better be ready offensively to attack and stuff like that. And you got to work on that. You got to do that things. And I never had a problem being disciplined and working. I
Never.
always been in the gym. I always been that, but it's with purpose. You know what I mean? It's not just because the top level, it's all purpose. All these guys are good at either
Yeah,
everything.
being there in the gym and being present are different.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, that was kind of like the biggest change. And like I said, like the media and all this stuff's kind of like got in my head and like really like
Why do you think
all
that
that
happened?
pressure.
Why do you think you let that happen?
I don't know, man. I think the fame for a little bit, I saw all the bigger picture and I stopped looking at the little picture, you know what I mean, before I get to the bigger picture. And I kind of like stopped worrying about, like, when you do you do a puzzle and you're missing a key point puzzle, then you're like, nah, I'm good, and you waste like 5 hours finding the other side, but you could have just wasted 5 hours finding that piece
Right.
and like kind of like get it going. That's how I look at it. That's why I love using puzzles as a thing. That's why in fighting as well, like whenever I fight somebody, I think of them as a puzzle and how can I break it down? How can I make this easy as possible? But I think that's what happened. To be honest, I really feel like I let my main focus on everything else around the puzzle than the main puzzle, and I let that take over. And hey, man, everything happens for a reason, and I'm super grateful that happened. Like I said, at a younger age and at a younger time.
For sure. Well, now you got some really good wins. Jack Shore, Billy Quarantillo, uh, Calvin Cater, and then you cap it off with Josh Emmett. It's a totally different run. Um, what happens now? Because you were super vocal. You wanted a big fight. You wanted someone high in the rankings. You wanted a name. Now you got it, and I think you're ranked. You are going into Saturday. You were ninth. I suspect that when the rankings come out tomorrow, that's going to be a much lower number. What do you do now?
Obviously the main goal is to be a world champion, and I will be a world champion. There's a lot of pressure that comes with that, but that's a privilege. That's a good pressure. That's the one of the greatest pressures you can have. That means you're doing something real good in your life. You know what I mean? So for me to go out there and call that, like, Murphy out and a guy like that, and I don't want, like, I know people saying like, why would you call Murphy? I'm like, bro, it's like I'm trying to go where the hype is at and then trying to get a climb as much as possible. At the end of the day, this is a politic business as well. Like, I'm not just gonna sit here and be like, okay, I beat the number 8, now give me the number 7. It's not how it works. You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
you can have a performance of your lifetime and fight for the belt right away. So I was kind of just went with the hype, where the hype is at and everybody at. And also Volk does not have a fight. So I don't know what's going on that as well. So for me, I was just trying to jump on an opportunity because last time I didn't say anything, and I waited 8 months before I fought again.
Did you hear what I said on the post show? Who I thought you should fight?
No, who?
Diego Lopez.
That's great.
I think I'm serious. That's
That'll
the
be a great
fight.
fight. That'll be a great fight. I
That's
mean,
the
that'll be a
fight.
great fight.
Yeah. Well, I said that I know you wanted Lerone Murphy, but it sounds like he might be getting a title shot. I was like, so why don't we just do between Lerone Murphy and Diego Lopez? Whoever doesn't get the title shot should just fight you.
I'm
That's
down
what
with
I'm
that.
talking about. That's what
I'm
is
down
it?
with
Is it
that.
weird to be having? It's weird for me, if I'm being honest with you. Just watching your career and you mature, just from the kid that I met at the gym when I first came to Factory X. to like having conversations about you might be one away from a title shot. Like it's I don't know. Do you feel it? Is it weird?
100%, bro. It's like a movie, man. It's I some days I wake up, I don't believe it. Like I really don't. I wake up some days and I'm like, is this really happening? Is this what's going on? It's like all this stuff's like kind of like start kicking in right away, and I'm like kind of like, wow, like holy crap, you know what I mean? But it's like this is what I dreamed about. This is
Right.
the first Yusuf. This is what he dreamt about. This is what he knew was gonna happen. This is new. It's getting this and that, but I didn't have the experience back then. I didn't have the mentality that I have and all that things. And I tell people like it's like that young kid grabbing his dream car. He's going to the dealership and grabbing his dream car. This is how I feel right now. This is like, and obviously the main thing is that world title. That's what I want to be like. Hey, I want to walk into that dealership and be like, here's 100 racks or here's whatever it is, and here's I want to get my dream car, and that's the moment I'm waiting for. You know what I mean? And to do that though,
Hey,
you
first of all,
really have.
you making all that money now.
Ah,
I'm
you're
a
right. I'm trying to get to your level.
no,
I'm
of all
trying to
them
get to your
no,
level.
all them lunches and dinners I took you to, motherfucker. You
Hey,
owe me
listen,
some
no, I
food.
listen. I got you. Dinners and all that. I got no problem. I tell you guys this all day. It's like I've been around people. I've been blessed enough around people like you, Dustin, and even Cody and all those guys. Like these guys been making more money than me and all that stuff. So for me, it's like I used to look at it as a young kid. I'm like, well, why the fuck is he making this much money? Why is this? Why is that? I'm like, now I look at it as a motivation. I was like, I can't wait to get to that level right there. I cannot fucking wait to be like, hey, you're not the only fucker that's making this money. I'm making this money too, you know? So that's like how I look at it. You know, you can ask Dustin. I always joke around. I'm like, bro, shut up, bro. You make all this money. I was like, I can't wait to get to that money, man. I can't wait to walk into the gym and be like, this is how much I'm making this check. This is the one check just to show up. And then obviously the win. So it's exciting and inspiring to me at least. You know, I feel like I always looked at it as a one thing, like an ego thing, like, oh, why does he make this? Why does he deserve this? Like, I don't know what he been through his life. I don't know what was going on, you know what I mean, and all that.
Mhm.
So for me, that's amazing. Like great fucking job for you guys. God damn.
You know what's amazing? Seeing you with your mom after the fight. Bro, that was one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, bro. You know, as a man, I was I told this in the interviews. I was like, I'm happy that I got to share that moment in my life before my life goes away. I
Mhm.
really super grateful and blessed to say I did that. And I know a lot of people don't have moms. I know a lot of people grew up with no moms and all that stuff. So for me to even have my whole family in there, and I know my brother's watching me as well, and just to have that, it was a special moment to my heart, man. And I, like I said, I'm very blessed and happy that I got to experience that and to have that stamped and for my rest of my life.
Yeah, so she hasn't been in the United States since what, 2009?
2009, since 2009, yeah.
How long is she in the States for?
She's staying here for a little bit right now, so I don't know. Like we're Africans, bro. There's no plan. The Africans don't plan, bro. I swear to God. Like
She
if
just
you
got
want
a
to hear,
one-way ticket and she's like,
bro,
I'll
that's how
kick it
crazy
till
my family
I
is,
gotta go
bro.
back.
My dad calls me. He said, I was like, yo, are you coming? And my dad's African. He just shows up. No hotel, no plans, no nothing. He just shows up. And I'm like, no, I gotta get like I got it. Like I gotta get you a hotel and everything. So I had to set that up because my dad didn't care. And
Right.
then what you call it? My brother was like, yeah, I'm coming. 2 weeks later, no, I'm not. And I was like, okay, so I can give your ticket away. Yes. 2 days before the fight, I'm coming.
You're like, "Well, now what?" Hey,
Thanks, bro.
I actually have a personal question. Are your mom and dad together?
Yeah.
Well, why doesn't she just stay
It's an
forever?
African relationship. It's an African
Yeah, what's
relationship.
going on with these why are they so weird? Why doesn't she just stay here?
Well, I don't. She came because well, she couldn't come here. By the way, that was paper wise.
Right.
She couldn't come here because like, so we were waiting for approval for the
Mhm.
immigration. So that kind of like took forever. But it's not just that. It's like her just not coming. But she couldn't come. Like she
Yeah, yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
literally couldn't come. But that was kind of like the thing. But yeah, that was that. But yeah, man,
You need me to
I got an African.
you want me to marry her so we can get her some papers and make that faster?
No, no, no. It's all good now. It's all good now.
We're
We
good
straight
now.
now. We
We're
straight.
good. Okay.
Yeah, we
Hell yeah.
straight. We straight now. She good now. She got her things and all that. But I don't know if that's she wants to stay here for a long time. But I know her main goal was coming in here and seeing her son's graveyard because obviously she didn't see her son since 2009. So that
Right.
was like the most important thing. And yeah, man, that was I got to share two moments with her that because after before every fight I go see my brother before I leave and she was with me and that was a touching moment. And then
Wow,
obviously
that's
when we
crazy.
at the fight as well, yeah. So it was wild, man. It was so cool moment, and it's amazing how when you put stuff in the universe like that and all that, like that whole week, man, has been amazing. Like I did everything, so like it was a memory for me for sure.
How did coach feel about your performance?
Man, you know how coach is, man. He always gets stressed out before we fight, and obviously my teammate Chris fought, and I can tell he's pissed off. You know what I
Right.
mean? I can tell like he gets all red and he's bald, so you can see all the veins and stuff. Like he's already pissed off.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I tried to like I was like, I was like, I got you guys. Like, don't worry, I got you. And I kind of kept it that way, and I kind of get him going, you know. And he knows it, man. He knows the standard I set, and he knows the things that I want to get done, and he knows everything that I told him I wanted done, and we can't wait to get it to do it all the way to the top.
Yeah, it's crazy. For the longest time, obviously there's been world champions that have been in the gym. There's Joe Warren, but there hasn't been a UFC champion yet. And I remember when I first got there, like you were the guy. Like you were going to be the first Factory X kind of bred world champion. And then I got a title shot, and I was like, I'm gonna jump right in front of right in front of line of Yusuf. I'm gonna be that guy. And then I didn't get it done. And so it went
Boy,
right back
you
to
also
you.
fought the greatest guy in the
Yeah, yeah.
world.
I mean, just go ahead. Tell me, tell
That's
me,
why.
tell,
That's
tell
why
me how
I was
good I
like,
am.
I look at it. That's why I was like, this guy's deserved to get paid like that because he fought the best goddamn guy in the universe.
Yeah, but but you got the best shot, probably. I mean, right now you're sitting in the best position in the entire gym to be the guy that can go on and win a title.
And yeah, that's a great pressure. You know, that's a privilege for me. That's an honor for me to go and represent a whole team and represent all these people that look up and be like, okay, like it is possible to have world champions, and we almost came close to having a world champion against the greatest fighter in the planet. You know what I mean? So for us, it's like it just helps it even more. It helps this young generation. It helps this young kids to be like, well, hey, this is a team I got to keep an eye on. This is guys I got to keep an eye on. So yeah, man, I can't wait to keep doing that, and I can't wait to go show that. You know what I mean? It's gonna take a lot. It's gonna take a team. It's gonna
Hmm.
take a whole lot to get to a world title. So I need that, and I can't wait to do that.
Okay, so if you don't, but before I get you out of here, I just got a couple more. If you don't get Lerone Murphy because he's going to hang out for a title, because I'm gonna be honest with you, if I'm Lerone Murphy, I'm not fighting you. Not a chance. There's not a chance. You're streaking right now. You got what 8 in a row. You're hot. It's a tough fight. You might get a title shot. I ain't wasting my title shot on Yusuf fucking Zalal beat my ass. That ain't happening. If we were to think of someone else other than like Diego and Lerone, is there anyone else that you got your eye on?
Yair Rodriguez.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Actually, I changed my
And
mind. I
also
want that
because
one
the guy he
instead.
fought, he fought for the belt, and he
Mhm,
was the interim champion. And obviously, we both submitted the Yair. So I mean, Josh Emmett.
mhm.
We're the only two submissions Josh Emmett has ever been happening in his career. By the way, which is crazy. That guy has so many fights in the UFC, and he's only been finished 3 times.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And
It's
by the
crazy.
way, I realized I was like, he's been in the UFC since I started MMA.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know what else is crazy? Here's something people forget all the time. Ilia Topuria has absolutely dominated and finished every single one of his UFC opponents except for one, and that one is you. That's you. I mean, that fucking means
That was a
something.
young, dumb Yusuf, too. That was not even a good Yusuf, bro.
Was that the one where you ended up in a bunch of chokes constantly for a little bit?
Yeah, it's like seven
Man, I remember
submissions.
watching it. I told this story on the desk actually. I don't know what it is for the people listening. I don't know what it is. Yusuf is unchokable. It's the wildest thing in the world. I remember putting up $100 a couple times. that I could get him, that I could put him out. And I full back take, body triangle, completely sunk rear naked choke. It's impossible. I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't know if he doesn't breathe air. It's the weirdest thing in the world. But I remember watching Topuria chase a couple of those chokes, and a couple of them were deep. And people were like, "Oh no, he's gonna finish him." Like, no, he's not. No, he's
Oh
not.
no. That's like my thing. I love like chokes challenges because I'm like I always thought I was a stubborn head. I feel like I'm always a stubborn guy, and I was like, no, you find a way, find a way. And for some reason, I don't know why, I always thought about he's gonna gas out, he's gonna gas out, he's gonna gas out, he's gonna gas out. That's all I keep thinking about every time. And I was like, okay, he's gonna gas out. Do not tap, do not tap. He's gonna gas out. He's gonna gas out.
And
You
he
know.
never gassed out.
Yeah, fuck yeah. But I mean, he did gas out the third round.
Yeah, yeah.
They gave me. I almost freaking finished him in the third round, but.
Okay, is that
Hey,
a fight that you want to chase back someday? Or because
100%.
I feel like you've used that as motivation as he
Till
became
this
more
day.
successful, and you've seen the heights that he reached. And because I remember you and I having this conversation, it was almost like you were a bit endearing to him. It wasn't even that you were mad about it, that you were you weren't hunting him. It was like you were almost proud of him, and it was giving you motivation to continue to keep pushing because of how you felt in there with him.
It's inspiring. If you're not inspired by that, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Right.
who doesn't want to be like Ilia Topuria in a way of, hey, you follow your dreams. You said what you wanted to do. You're achieving the things you want to do. You have a great family. You're changing your life and your family's life and stuff like that. And that's why I took in this week. And I was like, listen, till this day, he's still the guy I was kind of looking up to and chasing in a way of, hey, to be that level, you have to do a lot of things that 99% of people cannot do. You know what I mean? So, and for me, that's the guy I'm chasing, and that's the guy I want, and that's the guy that I always wanted because I can't have a comeback story without the guy that's pound for pound number one right now and all that stuff, and not really chase that. You know what I mean? So it's definitely the only. When I remember when he became a champion, I posted a story on and I was not even in the UFC because I got cut, and I posted it and I said I can't wait to be back in there right after he won that belt, and I was like I can't wait to be back in there, and my time will come, and until this day I still believe it. My time will come, and I can't wait to finish that story and finish that book.
Okay, last one for me. Do you think he knows that you're chasing him? Or do you think he's just up there doing his own thing, and you're just consistently gaining ground on him? Like, do you think he looks behind him and realizes you're coming?
I don't know. I think his mentality, that guy, I don't think he looks at what the hell's behind him. I think he got so much going on. I don't think he really is, and I don't think nobody ever brought me up in interviews at all either. I know every time he sees me, we dab each other, we give like each other a hug and stuff like that. His team knows me as well and stuff like that. So, but I never like I really had a crazy conversation with him at all, and any
Mhm.
of that. And I know nobody brings me up in interviews. So, but man, like he's chasing his thing, I'm chasing my thing, and the end of the day is like I told Dana and Hunter, I was like, look, man, I will be a star and I will be a world champion, and I can't wait to do that.
Hell yeah. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna get you out of here. Make sure you tell your mom and dad that I said hi. I'm glad that I'm glad she's back with you for a little while. I couldn't be fucking more proud of you, bro. It's been one of the coolest things in the world to just see it from the inside. Everyone sees it from the outside, but I've seen it from the inside where the real work is put in. And you deserve everything that's happening to you, bro. So that'll be the last nice thing that I say to you for a while, though.
Hi, you asshole.
I love you,
Nah,
bro.
nah,
Get the hell
thank
out
you,
of
thank
here.
you, man. Thank you for having me. Yeah, hey, we gonna see a nice thing again after the next fight. So we can
Hell
keep
yeah. Let's
rolling.
go.
We keep
All
rolling,
right, bro.
baby.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rob. Appreciate you.